Kevin was not gay. And you already know, those that watch, I ain't gonna lie, I made a few jokes, and Kev knew that. We talked about that, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't tripping on that. If Kev was gay, somebody would have exposed him. You cannot get over 1 million subscribers. Fuck, you can't even get to 500,000 subscribers without somebody from your past letting that be known. No. If Kevin was gay, one of his lovers, somebody that he was dealing with, would have came out and be like, high value man, huh? Somebody would have came out. So you can't give me that. You cannot have that type of clout in the day of clout. This era that we're in, this is the day of clout where popularity means more than currency. It means more than property. It means more than pussy. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers is dying for clout. It's stronger than heroin. It's stronger than crystal meth. So you cannot deceive me into thinking that Kev was gay in this era and nobody came out and tried to expose that man. Man, stop it.
Good morning, America and the rest of the world. Xander J. Hobson here, stand-up comedian and entertainer, director and producer of boxing documentaries and internet troll. To those who need internet trolling. This here is another episode of The Devil's Advocate, brought to you by the Brilliant Artist Movement. I'm trying to grow the platform, so please subscribe, like this video, share it, and by all means leave a comment in the comment section, because I enjoy checking out the feedback from these videos that I make, as well as exchanging opinions and points of views with you all. So anyway, right? One of the things that I've learned since coming into this YouTube space is when all else fails, make a Kevin Samuels video. So I was listening to Sinful the P, one of his old broadcasts. His broadcast, I believe it was The Things You Could Have Learned from Kevin Samuels. Now, during this broadcast, Sinful addressed the topic of Kevin Samuels being gay. Sinful the P touching on some things that made people question the sexuality of one Kevin Samuels. I know I question the sexuality of Kevin Samuels on several occasions, made videos about it owing to some of the things that Kevin Samuels said out of his mouth.
A big dick? Huh? You have a big dick? Huh? You have a big dick?
We need to start advocating for men who want to be with men. We need to start advocating for men who want to be with men. We need to start advocating for men who want to be with men. I understand the impulse, brothers. I do.
Now, the thing that Sinful the P said that prompted me to make this video was,
if Kev was gay, somebody would have exposed him. You cannot get over 1 million subscribers without somebody from your past letting that be known. If Kevin was gay, one of his lovers, somebody that he was dealing with, would have came out and be like, high value man, huh?
Kevin Samuels was the kind of guy, he was strategic and he understood that sensationalism.
Beauty is universal. And the thing is, we're talking about black women, they're on the opposite end of the spectrum on all ranks.
Huh? You have a big dick?
We need to start advocating for men who want to be with men.
Was what drove YouTube. He understood trends and he knew how to maneuver in order to keep his name in people's mouth, whether it be something positive or whether it be something negative. Kevin Samuels, the guy who started out trying to coach and motivate black men, but quickly realizing that black men don't spend money, black women do. And I don't even think I'm going to say he quickly realized that, because from what I learned, Kevin Samuels had been in the YouTube space for a number of years, trying to motivate black men by way of his image consulting business. But he started getting more success when he started talking to and talking about black women. And again, Kevin Samuels understood how YouTube and entertainment worked. That is with sensationalism and trends. Kevin Samuels realizing that the LGBTQ had a profound influence in Hollywood entertainment. And what did Kevin do? Kevin Samuels sought to cash in on that. Kevin Samuels saying and doing things that would make people question his sexuality.
Huh? You have a big dick?
We need to start advocating for men who want to be with men.
And when people started questioning the sexuality of Kevin Samuels, you had two camps. You had the detractors and you had the supporters. People who said, this guy is gay. He's an undercover brother. And people who said, he's not an undercover brother. He just said or did such and such a thing, but he's not gay. He's not this. And again, Sinful the P said it best. If Kevin Samuels was an undercover brother in this day of clout chasing, someone would have crawled out from under a rock and exposed Kevin Samuels. Hey, you had people crawl out from under rocks talking about that Kevin Samuels was a deadbeat dad. You had people crawling out from under rocks saying that Kevin Samuels wasn't as successful as he was pretending to be. So if you had people crawling out from under rocks exposing all of these things, doesn't it stand to reason that someone would have crawled out from under a rock and said, hey man, me and this guy was in a homosexual relationship for a number of years. I made a bunch of videos talking about this very subject. And after a while, I realized that Kevin Samuels was simply working the crowd and dangling the LGBTQ carrot in front of people's faces in order to drive conversation about him. Hey, Kevin understood that good publicity or bad publicity, no matter how it goes, is all publicity. And this is what the man did. Now, another thing I would say is Kevin Samuels cashed in on his good looks. Now, one thing about people know where they stand with the opposite sex by the time they may be like about 25 years old. And in my opinion, Kevin was probably the kind of guy who got a lot of attention from the opposite sex. Kevin, a nice looking guy. Kevin, a tall guy. The kind of guy who turns the heads of every woman in the room when he enters into the room. And Kevin understood this. And I said that to say this. Once Kevin shifted gears and started incorporating females into his conversation, I believe that a lot of the women who called in to Kevin's show, I believe they had a crush on him. I come from a time where men and women saw people in magazines, on TV, and on the movie screen that they were automatically attracted to. I just now had an experience that I made a video about seeing a sister that bewitched me just by looking at her picture in a dating profile. But I said that to say this. Kevin Samuels had a huge female audience. And again, I'm willing to bet that a lot of these sisters who tuned in to support Kevin Samuels or to be a Kevin Samuels detractor, I believe that a lot of these women had a crush on Kevin based on the circumstances that I'm discussing. Case in point, YouTube is an interactive space, and we tune into these YouTube broadcasts and we see people that we are attracted to in one form or another. Now, I watched that Kevin Samuels average at best video on a handful of occasions. And one of the things that I saw on that Average at Best video was that young lady was lobbying for the attention of Kevin Samuels, but more importantly, she was lobbying for the approval of Kevin Samuels. You watch the video. The young lady said, "Do you see me? Can you see me? Do you see me? Can you see me?" Basically, what she was saying was, Kevin, don't you think I'm pretty? Don't you think I'm beautiful? Don't you like me like I like you? And Kevin gave the young lady his honest opinion of what he thought of her. You are average at best, in my opinion. But that video made Kevin Samuels a household name, and as a result of that, Kevin's platform shot through the roof. Kevin Samuels pretty much becoming an internet sensation overnight. Now, another thing that I noticed about Kevin Samuels was Kevin Samuels knew how to get his male audience all worked up.
I know this is going to be a contentious topic, but I'm going to stand on my square. I'm a men's advocate. Black men are holding themselves to a standard that all women are even holding themselves to. We're supposed to stand there and hold the line because we black, and we're not even getting. See, the problem is not that the black men don't want to be fathers in black families and be black. My preference is black, but where are the corresponding black women who are fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, childless, who want to be our wives?
And one of the things I noted was the more Kevin Samuels went in on women, the more donations he got from his male audience. Hell, it was almost like intellectual pornography. And the way Kev got his audience worked up to give him super chats and donations, it was akin to watching a bunch of guys at a strip club throwing $100 bills up on the stage because it was a bad broad up there shaking her ass. So, this is what I was thinking about after watching this latest broadcast of my main man, Sinful the P. Again, I believe that Sinful the P pretty much debunked the rumor or the talk about Kevin Samuels being an undercover brother, because Sinful said it best. If Kevin Samuels was indeed an undercover brother in this day of sensationalism and clout chasing, someone would have came out from underneath a rock and said, "Hey man, me and this guy were lovers for a number of years," and that never happened. In fact, when Kevin Samuels finally tapped out, he tapped out with a woman in his arms. So with that said, folks, I'm done with it. Bam.